Hi Vincent, this is Alan Cockrell with ABC Camps, former Major League hitting coach with the Colorado Rockies and Seattle Mariners. We're going to do some video analysis of your swing. We'll break it down into some different phases. First phase is the setup, and it's an area where you're going to see the most variance with all hitters, particularly young hitters to major league hitters alike. It's a preference. It's a little bit of a style, and I don't pay a whole lot of attention to it unless it can create some problems but later on in the swing. But the first thing I look for is balance. Balance is absolutely critical with hitting, and we need it from start to finish. So in your setup position, we have good balance. Balance for me simply is knees inside the feet, head inside the knees. And we can see here that we're in a pretty good position. We'll take this into the load phase, okay? The load phase, again, we're staying with our knees inside here. We're going to take it a little bit further to the actual foot down, all right? When the foot gets down, the first things that I look for are, I want to see equal bend in both knees. Oops, I don't want that. I want this. Sorry about that. I want to see equal bend in both knees, okay? We've got just a little bit more bend in the front than we do in the back, and we're starting to get just a little bit of tilt with our hips up. And this equal bend will keep our hips more in a flat position or a more level position, okay? And then the next thing I look for is that when the foot comes down, that we're no more open than 45 degrees. So if we run forward, okay, as you can see, we're a little bit more open than 45. And what this does, Vincent, is it puts us in a position where this front hip wants to leak open just a little bit quick. And when that front hip starts to leak open a little bit quick, we have difficulty handling pitches middle to the outer half of the plate. Our swing path will now work. Our swing path will now work, hands will work out and around as opposed to a direct path working in front of our body to the contact position. So we're going to run forward a little bit more just to see where we end up here. Okay, because this front hip is starting to open a little prematurely, right here, we can see that these hands, we can see that the path that they're going to make is going to be more in a out here and then a forward move to the baseball. Okay, so again, we're going to go back to what we're doing with our lower half. Our lower half, I have good bend there, I have good bend here. I can keep this more, my hips more flat as opposed to my hips going this way. All right? Okay, Vincent, as we move forward into the contact phase of the swing, all right, what we'd like to see is when I get to a point of contact with my hands and my bat of the baseball, I'd like to see this shoulder, this elbow, and this back hip all in alignment. And because we've lost a little bit of our front side with that front hip, and the hands have worked out and around your ball, or up around your body to the ball, we're starting to get our hands in front of our power source. Okay, our power source is our lower half. We're going to get direction to the baseball, and I'm going to get drive and power from my lower half. That needs to put, my lower half needs to put me in a position so that my hands can connect with this shoulder, elbow, and hip all in alignment so that all that energy from my lower half can go to my hands, and then all of that energy will be released at the point of contact somewhere out here, okay, somewhere in front of our body. As you can see, your hands have worked in front of your power source, and a couple of things happen here. We have difficulty handling pitches middle to outer half, and we lose a little bit of power. We can be a contact hitter, but we're not driving the ball into gaps, through gaps in the outfield like we can. So would like to, and we'll talk about this a little bit later on, but you can see here now your hands are starting to work in front of your body, okay? We'll take it forward. We get to contact. I tell you what I do like, though. I do like how your head and eyes are staying right here down the plane of your bat, all right? That is a good position. We move this forward a little bit more. We get to contact out here, and because your bat path has worked out and around your body, and because your hands have worked ahead of your power source, which is this back hip right here, we're going to finish our swing more into foul territory. That barrel extension is working more this way in the left field as opposed to this way more back at the pitcher. So in going forward here, let's just finish and see what kind of balance we finish under. Okay, and you can see your bat working around your body instead of finishing out here, and then it'll go off in this direction, and then it'll finish more back this way. But one of the things I think we can do to help you is one of the things that a drill that I used to use when I was a minor league hitting coach is I would set a tee up on the outer half of the plate. I would have my hitters get into a good hitting position, which is the loaded position, and I would have them fire their back leg into their front leg, bring their elbow into their hip so that their hands, their elbow, their hip, their shoulder, everything was in alignment, and then I would have them from there actually throw the bat through the tee that is set up on the outer half of the plate and release their bat, throw it, and if it flies through the second baseman, then we're getting a proper lower half turn. Our hands are connecting, our elbow and hands and shoulder and hip are all connecting so that all that bat speed is generated towards the baseball. Then as we start to get the good connection and as we start to get the release of that barrel and that we're actually throwing the bat, as we start to see that work through the second base area, then I put a ball on the tee and we do the same thing, and we start to drive through that ball, and we're hitting line drives through the second baseman. We start hitting line drives through right center, and then we take it more from the loaded position and we try to get everything to add up together. So that would be the number one drill that I would suggest for you right now. And I think that with your balance, I think you're going to be able to get this. It's just getting the lower half and the hands to all add up together so that our direction and our drive and our bat speed and the release of the bat is all going through the baseball.